pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Supervisor Vecchio? Councilman Wareheim?
Here.
Councilman Creighton?
Here.
Councilman Malloy?
Here.
Creighton, will you read the Board of Water Commission?
Acting as the Board of Water Commissioners, Town Board. Number one, transfer from personnel salaries the amount of $3,081.83 and overtime salaries and a series of other transfers to the St. James Water District. Number two, transfer from contingency in the amount of $570.79 and some from the payroll tax in the amount of $525 to the Smithtown Water District. Transfer from account personnel salaries, the amount of $15,413, and transfer maintenance repairs in the amount of $15,413 for the Smithtown Water District.
Councilman Malloy?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes. Public hearings, the town board to consider the proposed amendment to Chapter 322 of the code entitled Building Zone Ordinance as it relates to plan exemptions.
Members of the Town Board, my name is Russell Barnett. I am the Environmental Protection Director of the Town of Smithtown. The subject of this public hearing tonight is a proposal to amend section of the Town Code that deals with site plan exemptions, Section 322-85D. The site plan exemption process is a simple town approval process for small commercial projects such as the minor expansion of previously approved buildings or small parking lots. If town staff can determine that such a project meets a set of standards established by the town board, the project need not go through the more detailed, time-consuming, and expensive full site plan approval process. The standards that must be met for a site plan exemption include limits on the size of the proposal and the use of building materials that match those already in use on site, etc. One of the current standards is that the proposal cannot involve the removal of any trees. There have been a number of proposals that could not qualify for an exemption on this one point alone. Recently, we were unable to sign off on a site plan exemption for a small parking lot project because it involved the removal of one tree at the edge of the existing parking lot and a few small landscape trees located in parking lot islands to be converted to parking spaces as part of the project. Requiring full site plan approval process for such projects, rather than using the site plan exemption process, does not achieve any significant environmental benefit. It does, however, increase both the time and expense for applicants. The proposed amendment would allow site plan exemptions for small projects involving the removal of up to 6 small trees, trunks up to 6 inches in diameter, rather than requiring such projects to go through the full site plan approval process. Projects involving the removal of large trees or large numbers of small trees would continue to require the full process and approval of the Board of Site Plan Review. That concludes my presentation, and I would be happy to answer any questions that the Town Board might have.
On this amendment, town board, I move to close the hearing.
Second?
Second.
Councilman Malloy?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Okay, Mr. Wareheim, would you begin there at the appointments?
Appointments by the supervisor. Number 1, Supervisor Patrick Arvecchio hereby appoints Denise Massimo to the Youth Advisory Board, term of office from January 20, 2012 through December 31, 2013. Number 2, Supervisor Patrick Arvecchio hereby appoints Samantha Thomas to the Youth Advisory Board, term of office from January 20, 2012 through December 31, 2013.
Go ahead.
Correspondence, Building Department report, December 2011. Number 2, Parade, Walk, Run, Kings Park St. Patrick's Day Parade, first reading. Number 3, Parade, Run, Walk, Smithtown Rotary Club, St. Patrick's, Go for the Green 5K and 1 mile fun run, first reading. Number 4, Parade, Run, Walk, Greater Long Island Run Club 15th Annual 15K Race and Fun Run, first reading. Number 5, Parade, Run, Walk, Nesconset Athletic Association, Opening Day Parade, first reading. Advertisement for public hearings. Number 1, the town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise for public hearing to be held at the Eugene A. Canataro Senior Center, 420 Middle Country Road, New York, on the 23rd day of February 2012, 7 p.m., to consider special exception petition 2011-13 as submitted by Santilli Commercial Developers, LLC, for a special exception for commercial public recreation use on the property located on the north side of Old Northport Road, 1,018.08 feet west of Indian Head Road, Kings Park, New York.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Number 2, the town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise for public hearing to be held at Town Hall, 99 West Main Street, Smithtown, New York, on Tuesday, February 7, 2011, at 2 p.m. to consider amending Chapter 322 zoning of the Town Code, showrooms, microbreweries, etc.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Resolutions, the town board to award the following bids and authorize purchase of associated goods and services. Bid 11-074, paint and stain to Aboff's Paint, Elmont Paint, and Nassau Suffolk Lumber. Number 2, bid 11-80 for baling wire to Cavert Wire. C, bid 11-078 for plow blades and cutting edges to Trios Incorporated, Volk Manufacturing, Chemung Supply, and Edward Ebar, as per bid openings on January 5th.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Town board to approve the following: adoption of an amendment of Chapter 252 of the Code entitled Swimming Pools. B, assessor to provide assessment relief to owners of catastrophically impacted properties as a result of either Hurricane Irene or Tropical Storm Lee, or both. C, Supervisor Patrick R. Vecchio's appointment of Denise Massimo to the Youth Advisory Board. D, Supervisor Patrick R. Vecchio's appointment of Samantha Thomas to the Youth Advisory Board. E, extension of the intermunicipal agreement with the town of Brookhaven concerning disposal of street sweepings and glass. F, town attorney or appropriate official to enter into a stipulation or of settlement in the order in regard to various tax certiorari matters. G, the rejection of all bids received on December 8, 2011, in conjunction with bid number 11-071. H, Conservation Board to utilize the services of Alliance Reporting Services, Incorporated. I, Town Board approves the issuance of a home rule request of Senate Bill S4686 and Assembly Bill A7475, an act to amend the highway law in relation to the limitation on certain highway expenses in the town of Smithtown. J, change order number 2, Nichols Road Reconstruction Project.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Town Board to authorize the town clerk to advertise for the following bids. Bid number 12-002, outboard motor, a re-advertisement February 9th, 2012. Bid number 12005, road marking materials, February 9th, 2012. C, bid number 12-006, street lighting material, February 9th, 2012.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Town Board, after due study and deliberation on the subject, to issue a secret negative declaration. A, application of a site plan approval by Eldon Smith for Globecom dated January 12th. B, application for site plan approval by St. Catherine of Siena Medical Center. C, application of site plan approval by Antilla Management Corporation.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Town Board to authorize the acceptance of the following: donation from Joshua B. Hershon in the amount of $300. B, accept donations from the Carmack Kings Park Charitable Fund and various other individuals. C, cash in lieu of a performance bond in the amount of $54,075.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes, the town board to authorize the comptroller to execute the following. The following being A through AA, with the exception of B, which is an increase of state aid and transferred to a snow account, and S, which is an increase in the transfer of revenue in the amount of $36,700 for the purchase of vehicles for the senior center. AA is, get to that in a second here. AA also is an increase in an account of gifts and donations for the animal shelter. All others, A through Z, are end of the year housekeeping transfers from various accounts and contingency accounts.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes. Town board to authorize the supervisor to execute the following on a form approved by the town attorney. Budget allocation agreement with the Smithtown Performing Arts Council, a budget allocation agreement with the Smithtown Arts Council, a budget allocation agreement with the Smithtown Historical Society. Also, the term extension agreement with the Incorporated Village of Nisqually for fire marshal services, an agreement with a P&G fleet to provide rental of a bucket truck for electrical repairs.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes. Town board also to approve the settlements in the following matters per recommendation of the town attorney, Christine Pesapani, in the amount of $1,012.16. Albert Van Voorhees, in the amount of $190.09. And Patricia Say, in the amount of $484.67.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes. The town board to authorize the release of the following: release of a Bank of Smithtown irrevocable letter of credit in lieu of a performance bond.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes. Before I read the personal matters, I'm going to ask the board to go into a few minutes executive session regarding a personnel matter.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Here.
Councilman Creighton.
Here.
Councilman Malloy.
Here.
Town board to approve the following personnel matters: full-time appointment of Jody Pinchuk, a provisional full-time appointment of Santa Fenning, part-time appointment of Richard McCaffrey, termination of Christopher Lozaro from the Traffic Safety Department for failure to comply with the last chance agreement with the town, and shall be effective January 20th, 2012.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
I have two other personnel matters. The full-time appointment of Philip Carroll to the position of Fire Marshal 1 in the Public Safety Department. Town board also, well, let's see where that other personal matter is. Here it is. full-time appointment of Thomas O'Brien to the position of planning aide in the Planning Department effective January 20th, as was Mr. Carroll. And a highway agreement, town board to approve rental rates for trucks, loaders, and graders for snow removal and other highway department work.
Councilman Malloy,
Yes.
Councilman Creighton,
yes,
Councilman Wareheim,
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchia.
Yes. Those wishing to be heard.
The
Oh, I'm sorry, would you read that for me, please?
town board to authorize the following amendments to the Uniform Traffic Code and authorize the Traffic Safety Department to install and maintain the necessary signs. Schedule Schedule G, stop and yield intersections, Oak Street and Sunny Road, St. James, Lake Avenue and Roseville Avenue, St. James, Lake Avenue and Oak Street, St. James. Install stop signs at all three locations.
Councilman Malloy,
Yes.
Councilman Creighton,
Yes,
Councilman Wareheim,
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchia.
Yes. Wishing to be heard, Mr. M.J. Kim, please. Pull that microphone down, sir. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is MJ Kim. I'm a State Farm agent. I'm located at 2102 Jericho Turnpike, next to the Spare Rib Restaurant on the, just east of Haunted Road. There's a zone petition 2011-01 by the Hess Corporation that was approved by the Planning Board. Now it's up for Town Council review. The plan, in effect, takes my property and renders it useless. The plan cuts off any in and out from Jericho Turnpike, which is where I'm located, also cuts off all access through the rear, which there currently is. So the planning board has already approved that, which in effect is a taking of my property. My understanding in talking to Frank DeRubius is the current application is just for a zone change, and I shouldn't have to worry about it. But the zone change application comes with a site plan which proposes what they intend on doing. And what they intend on doing, again, is rendering my property useless. And if the planning board has already approved it, how come I wasn't notified that you're planning on taking my property? Eminent domain, if you guys want to take my property, I should have been given a chance to negotiate for fair value of my property, as well as goodwill and just compensation for the business that stays there.
The planning board is only an advisory to this board.
Yes.
Nothing is certain because they've issued that advisory. On February 23rd, I believe, there will be a public hearing on that matter in this room. So I suggest you come that evening and be heard. You're saying you're opposed to that?
Well, I understand that there's a public hearing for a zone change.
Yeah, correct.
But my contention is that zone change leads to the taking of my property.
Correct.
Shouldn't the town be advising me that what's under consideration is a taking of my property?
Well, that's exactly why there's a public hearing to hear from...
But there hasn't been a public hearing or announcement for the taking of my property.
No, no one has taken your property. No one has taken your property.
Not yet, but what's under consideration
Well,
is...
what you need to understand is that this board in this auditorium will have a public hearing, same time, 7 o'clock at night, where people will be heard on the zone change. It's that simple. Presentations will be made by the applicant for the zone change, and we will hear that. People also will be heard for that, maybe, or against it, maybe. So you ought to be here.
I appreciate that. Again, my position, though, is it's not a zone change. It's semantics, yes, but Newsday said town of Smithtown has approved Hess to come in. That's what the media has said. And the media hasn't picked up on the fact that what, in effect, it's doing is every one of you is going to vote on whether or not you're going to take my property without paying me anything. No discussion, no offer, not even an acknowledgement that you're considering doing that.
Okay. By the way, you shouldn't believe everything you read in the newspaper.
This is true.
Okay. Listen, what I'm trying to tell you is for you to come here that night and make your same sentiments known to this board on that night, and it will be part of that record of that public hearing.
Okay. I didn't want to wait to the last minute. I've sent each one of you a letter, which I'm hoping that each one of you has received. I'm also hoping that each one of you will do due diligence and actually look at the site plan and the plan before you vote on it and understand what's there, and don't just blindly vote on it. If you look at it, you'll see what I'm
Mr.
talking
Kim,
about.
you're belaboring the issue. We don't blindly vote on anything. The law prescribes the public hearing. We will have it. We will weigh what people have to say, and then decisions are made. Okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
No one else wishes to be heard. I'll move to close the hearing. Meeting, rather, I'm sorry.
Supervisor Vecchio,
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim,
Yes.
Councilman Creighton,
Yes.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.